Hello.
It's that squirrel again. Oh, look, he's in his man cave.
I can't see him actually at the
It
moment.
could be a woman cave.
But
Don't
could be,
make
but
generalizations.
except a man's in it. So bit of a giveaway.
Person cave.
Person cave. Jasmine, we still can't see you though.
Oh, that's weird. I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
On the
yeah.
it's now saying it's not responding. Give it a moment. It
Okay.
sometimes does this.
I'm
Be all
trying to
right in a
figure
minute.
out how I can there you are.
Oh yeah. Now Damien's appeared as well.
I want to aha. Can you see me?
I can see. Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay. Well that's fine, but I think I'm gone from my screen, which is what's going to be recorded. So yay. Yeah, no, I was just watching the reel on the Green Runners. Is that David Attenborough at the end?
I don't believe it really is. In fact,
Someone
we're not recording, are we? In theory, we could get into trouble for that. Actually, if he if he decided he didn't like that,
someone CGI'd him in.
I believe so. I'm not sure where that's from. That's David's skills or naughtiness. Yeah, but they. Yeah, I don't think it's him. I don't know. Do you know? No idea, Jasmine? Have you seen it?
I've not seen it. No, I don't know. I'm
Well,
guessing that
we're all
if it
I thought you were
genuinely
the
was David
founders.
Attenborough,
You're not in charge of this stuff.
not
I
anymore.
bet
No, it's Runaway. It's a runaway
it's
train.
yeah.
All the
I'm
kids.
guessing that if it was David Attenborough, then there'd have been a lot of chat about it. No.
You think so, but they've got a picture somehow of So we're all sticking a naughty finger by a
He
shell sign.
does,
The last
yeah,
one
and
is
he is doing that.
David
So
Attenborough. And He's doing.
All right.
I think they must have. Yeah, it's a bit naughty. I maybe shouldn't have. Well, too late.
No, I mean you didn't
Already
suggest
caused.
that. You suggested the shelfies, not the David Attenborough thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I also didn't pause and check that. But I haven't had any legal documents yet. So
You
well,
might find it funny, you never know.
yeah,
any marketing is good marketing. We know that's what they say.
that's what. Yeah. Well,
Okay, well look, I shall crack in here. Let's not I can't edit it. Robin and I bought Run Ultra a couple of weeks ago, and you are looking at the staff, so I don't have any editing skills. I've lost my editor, so we want one nice smooth take, please. So without further ado, I shall say thank you very much, both of you, for talking to me. And congratulations, obviously, on the Barkleys. We'll talk about that first, because it was just amazing. And the dot watching in particular this year, I don't know if you found that with the spine as well, but it just seems to have become so popular now. Before asking you about your actual race, were you aware of the popularity and being watched and followed by so many people?
after you, Jasmine.
Jasmine.
I guess I mean so people when you kind of come through the insoluble period, it was mentioned like I think a few people said to me that was standing around kind of said, oh, there's loads of people rooting for you on social media, people are really excited, that sort of thing. But I don't know how Damian felt, but I felt like actually at Barkley it's kind of a bit of a bubble, because it's quite nice, because you're sort of you're so sort of engrossed in the when you're actually racing, you're so engrossed in the race and you don't really have thoughts for anything else. But also when you're in the forest, it just feels like you're kind of away from it all. It's nice because you can kind of just concentrate on the people that are there and the kind of job in hand. So I didn't really think that much about the outside world until afterwards, and then when you saw Twitter, it was clear that it was kind of pretty big. Yeah,
it did. It certainly went mad. Well, I mean, congratulations. Obviously, Jasmine, you've gone further than any woman. I think I'm right in saying that on the fourth loop. And Damian, I mean, yeah, wow, but just wow, but so close, and yet what an amazing first attempt.
Yeah, you're very kind. I'm still trying to. yeah, I feel like is my glass 4/5 full or 1/5 empty? Yeah, John kindly pointed out that there's only two of us who have ever started a fifth loop and not at some point completed a fifth loop, and that's me and Gary Robbins. So yeah, I'm in elated company, and that yeah, I mean sort of yeah, but then especially with the weather being so good, yeah, I've just got this nagging feeling of that was such a good opportunity. But really, I suppose I needed, yeah, I hadn't learnt the course as well as I needed to really, or maybe I was just very sleepy.
Is
So,
it something you can learn though? I mean,
well, yes, no. So the first time, yeah, you can't really. So I went out there early to learn all I could of the landscape, but you're only allowed on the trails, which is only about a third of it. You see, so when you actually do that first loop, for me, it was not quite eye-opening, but yeah, very revealing. Like, oh, this is what it's like. Okay, so that first loop was really, you can't recce it. It's one of the few races you can't recce. So yeah, that first one is a recce for me. I don't know what it was like for you, Jasmine, going back a second time. I mean, yeah, I'd love to hear a bit about that actually. Like, because
yeah, did it help you at all having a bit of
yeah, for sure, sure. Definitely felt more familiar the second time, and even now I sort of feel like now I feel like I could concentrate more on trying to race it fast and well rather than worrying so much about finding my way around. Do you see what I mean? I mean, the thing, there's always the potential to make mistakes on that course, so you always need to keep your kind of wits about you. But for sure, I think having been there before is a massive advantage, and I think it does build up with the more times you go, the more confident you'll feel about the actual course. I'm certain of that. Yeah.
Does the course change, or is it just with the book placement that changes?
There's usually, I think there are some changes to the course each year, but I think the amount it changes depends largely on how many finishes there've been, for example.
Okay.
So that's certainly something that people were worrying about at the end of this year with 3 finishes, is how much harder lads will make it next year. So we'll wait and see.
Absolutely.
Because like yeah, if you add something that adds about 10 minutes. Now, I'm going to say something and then go back on it. But if you add something that takes 10 minutes, you times it by 5, that's 50 minutes. So that's huge. But actually, yeah, counterclockwise twice, so it might not be 10 minutes, but yeah, that just 10 minutes to the course is big. And we think this year, yeah, some people think he took maybe about 10 minutes or maybe 5 minutes off the previous year.
Really? Okay.
And all right, we had good weather too, but it possibly enabled 3 finishes. Maybe the weather was more influential. I don't have as much experience yet to know, but yeah, just to backtrack a little bit, what fascinated me about that first go is I felt like you almost have to make a decision between getting around in good time, but you're probably not going to learn enough, or learning all you can, but you might not be quick enough.
Okay.
I don't know if that's quite through to draw a line between the two, but I guess I gambled on getting round several loops as quickly as possible by sticking to some veterans, and I probably didn't learn enough as I did that. Jasmine's possibly, like, you've done a lot on your own now. You've learned a lot. I don't, well, from the outside it feels like. So you're almost forced with that decision early on, which is quite intriguing, really.
Yes, but presumably, I mean, given that you've just said that you kind of went round as fast as you could, I mean, you did only just get out in time on the fifth loop with what, half an hour to spare. So, I mean, you couldn't have been more casual, really, could you?
Well, so yeah, it was all going. So yeah, I mean, the truth is, I was sticking. My aim was to stick with a veteran for at least the first loop and learn all I could. There's a guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, Joe Kelly or something he's called. So I stuck with him. He's a local runner out there. So I stuck with him, and we were fairly compatible. And I ended up sticking with him like 3.5 loops. But I had this nagging feeling of you've got to sort of go on your own and learn. Plus, I was finding it harder sticking with him. And yeah, and so for 4 or 5 books on that fourth loop, yeah, I sort of made my own way. Although Albert and Aurelian were around as well sometimes, and yeah, 2 or 3 of them I found spot on, and I was really thrilled. And well, just one of them actually caused me some problems, and that did actually steal a lot of time from me. And then that did make me close to the cutoffs.
Yeah. And that book. I mean, I love reading Jasmin's blog. I mean, I love the fact that you took a leaf and a rock from where you thought the book was to prove that you'd been looking for it.
I mean, what more proof would anyone need? But I doubled up because I left some biscuits there.
You left some biscuits.
Like, that is indisputable proof that I was at a rock.
Did Laz
wasn't the right rock? Wasn't the right rock. I was definitely at a rock. I can sort of half prove it if anyone ever finds the biscuits.
Can you look back now and realise that it was completely the wrong rock, or are you still puzzled?
I'm still puzzled. So it's a kind of, and I've gone over it with one or two people who know the course well. It's kind of a series. It's not like it's one standalone rock. It's kind of a series of rocks. What would you call it? A row of rocks, possibly broken into three, because there are about 3 different summits with capstones. And like Jasmin, when I came counterclockwise, I found it straight away without a problem. Possibly the easiest book I'd ever found. So that made me maybe too relaxed coming back the other way, thinking, oh, it's just, And then, there are lots of rocks up there. And lots of them have book-sized gaps in. Right. So there's plenty of looking. There's plenty of searching to be done. I want to take my kids there and do a treasure hunt, because I could keep them entertained for hours. Yes, but ultimately I couldn't find it. But I started thinking, I'm at the right rock. Definitely, the book is gone, which was there is a shift of mindset there. I sort of wish I'd carried on thinking I'm possibly not at the right rock. I'll keep looking at other rocks. But I started thinking, this is the right rock. The book is gone. And then you start imagining different ways in which the book has gone. But then, of course, elsewhere on the course, one of the books really had gone.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. And Jasmin, how's your knee?
It's surprisingly good. Yeah. It sort of felt sorer through loops 1 and 2, and then it suddenly started getting better, and then it's pretty good now. I've been for a couple of runs, and it's feeling all right. So
good. So yeah, excellent. Yeah. Well, we all know about knees and all that sort of stuff. Damian, I must ask you, because I've what is Sonic?
The local runner I mentioned, he was very generous with his time, and he took me on some of the trails in the park. He also was very keen to take me to some eateries, some southern eateries, and one of these fast food places, it's a drive-in called Sonic, and I did end up relaxing. Yeah, it's not very vegan, so I did relax my approach, and I had these delicious little cinnamon rolls, and my crew dude, Jody, who was amazing, realized I liked them. He was there with us, and then during the race he went out there and got a load more, and they were delicious. I had them, I think, between every loop, and then on my final loop I had a little paper bag of it says Sonic on it, and it had some cinnamon rolls, and I was going to leave with it, but Laz was really sweetly concerned that I was going to litter on the course. He kind of says, whatever goes out there must come back. He was really concerned.
Does he know you're a green runner?
Well, I didn't want to point out, sort of running the Pennine Way and picking up litter, and as we went, didn't want to point that out, but I deliberately made a real point of, all right, I didn't come back with any pages, but I did get a paper bag from Sonic. He didn't. I should have suggested that would count as several pages, but that didn't. That may not have worked. But yeah, I didn't litter with the Sonic bag, but I did lose a buff somewhere. So,
oh,
one of my favourites.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
You'll have to find it next year. And then maybe you'll find it next year, Damian.
Yes. Yeah. Do you? Can you just go back next year if you want to now, or do you still have to go through whatever the application process is?
I'll let Jasmin answer that. It's probably I don't know is the truth, but I don't know what Jasmin thinks.
I mean, I think you have to go through the application. It's not like you get an automatic entry back in.
Okay.
I'm sure that you have a better chance once you've like if like Damian, you've gotten to the final loop and Laz knows you have unfinished business there.
Yeah.
As long as you've not done anything bad, I guess. Then I think you've probably got a good chance of getting back in. But we'll see.
Well, indeed, indeed. And yeah, I mean, obviously, Jasmin, you've got to go back. You've got to do it for the girls. You've got to do it for the girls.
Yeah, no, that would be nice. Yeah, I think if I sort of get to the point where if I'm feeling really good, then that would be the aim. Yeah,
Yeah.
to go back. Like Damian said, the weather this year was fantastic. So, that was as good a chance as any. But yeah, I still think I could do it. If everything kind of aligned
Yeah,
and came
maybe
together at the
leave it
right
a
time.
year or two, let him get the really hard year or two out of the way, and then come back after a gap.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is that at the moment there's kind of a fire burning, there's like a real
Mm.
desire to do it. And like you say, that kind of knowledge of the course and things, it's who knows. I think my gut feeling is that it'd be better to just keep the streak and keep trying, and not kind of, hedge your bets just to go for it. So I think we'll see what happens.
Excellent. Oh, well done, both of you. I would also like to ask you about the Green Runners and how that's going and how your campaigns are going, and if you've sort of managed to, have you seen any progress? Have you how's it going generally? Let's get it out there a bit more.
Damian, do you want to start with this?
Yeah, I mean, ironically, whilst two of the co-founders flew across the Atlantic to a race, it seemed like our membership grew massively again. Yeah, it was a slightly awkward. What's the word? Juxtaposition or something of. Yeah, I think we both felt a bit awkward about sort of being celebrated a bit, maybe by the Green. Not awkward, but yeah, a bit uncomfortable, I suppose. Sorry, I'm not speaking for Jasmin, just for myself. But yeah, that was my only flight in 4 years, and it's similar for Jasmin. And I think it's important to show yourself not being perfect. I mean, certainly taking a flight is a big decision for me, and yeah, I do everything else I can in my life to keep a footprint low. But I honestly think being involved with the Green Runners or speaking up about stuff on social media or just chatting in interviews like this is more important than personal footprint reductions, because that's not going to be enough.
I don't think you need to. I don't think you should be spending all your time trying to apologize for doing something when you're doing so much more in every other direction.
Oh, thanks. Well, actually, that wasn't even your question, was it? And yeah, I still feel awkward and feel like I need to sort of defend it. But yeah, the Green Runners, we're almost a year old, and yeah, we've got hundreds of members, and it's growing around the world. Honestly, it's blown me away, and I'm so grateful of all the support from people like you guys, and just people signing up, and it's been amazing. It's been really wonderful.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Jasmin, how about you? Have you seen anything?
Yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, like Damian said, I think the Green Runners there was a lot of discussion, a lot of publicity for the Green Runners, with Damian and me running Barkley. And it was really positive. Yeah. So I think any conversation around this kind of topic is good, getting people talking. And I feel like really excited about what the kind of all the plans that Green Runners have, and the fact that there's so many more people are talking about it, and it's getting mentioned in lots of interviews and magazine articles and things. So I think it's only going in the right direction. It feels like a really positive thing for me to, like, because I'm running specifically, I guess, only for the Green Runners now, and it sort of adds another kind of positive element to doing well at a race, or to try my best. And I think Damian probably feels the same, is that you're also going to bring publicity to this thing that you feel really important, really, really passionately about. So I think it's a really good thing.
Do you have any sort of future plans or goals, or are you letting it grow organically and reacting to current affairs as they happen, like the shelfie thing?
Well, that was one of my favorite moments, actually. Not just the shelfie thing, but the reaction. I should credit David Starley, who, when we first realized Shell had sponsored the European Athletics, he really quickly got together with Champions for Earth and the New Weather Institute, and they drafted a letter, and that got some publicity. It got 100 signatures very quickly, and that got some publicity. And I'm sure European Athletics are getting the message that lots of runners aren't happy with that, and a similar was happened with British cycling. And yeah, we're just not going to tolerate sports washing. It's disgusting. So that is probably my favourite time. Not necessarily the shelfies afterwards, which was a bit of mischief. But that's been my favourite time as a green runner, actually. Other than the launch and how exciting all of that was actually feeling like we're genuinely sort of
You're
trying
doing
to
something.
shout about things and be pushy. That's been amazing. But also just meeting other runners. You know, you go to a race and they show you their green runners badge and just go, I've joined the green runners, and that's really touching. Actually, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, it's the small steps, isn't it? It's sharing what you can and can't do, and what your everyday person can do, you know, whether it comes to gear or mending it. Or it was so lovely meeting Darren at the running show and watching
Darren's amazing.
Do his pair ups. You know, even just simple stuff like that is, you know, makes such a difference.
Darren's incredible, and there's a handful of people who are just so passionate. They don't get the attention that me and Jasmin do, but they're working so hard behind the scenes. And I must admit, I've been super sloppy with sort of attending meetings and replying to emails lately. I mean, I've been a bit busy, but yeah, there's a group of people who are just so inspiring and really keeping everything, not even keeping everything going, but just coming up with amazing ideas. And we're it's really exciting to see where it might go.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for talking to me. Really appreciate it, and we will look forward to seeing what you guys have got coming up this year. And I hope to see you both at the Barkleys again next year.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you, Kate.